Hello, I'm Garner Mayor Ronnie Williams. We're here today for another episode of the show that we call Great People in Garner. With me today is Mark Massey, one of the businessmen in Garner. Mark, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Mayor. Appreciate being here.
You've been in sporting activities and been involved with the sports programs in Garner for a long time. Why you have a passion for that? What have you personally been involved with?
I really enjoy just being out there trying to teach the kids the fundamentals of the game, give them a chance to go there and just prove what they're capable of doing and stuff, and teach them lessons in life through sports.
What programs have you personally been involved with? All of them?
Been involved pretty much. Somebody told me I got Garner hats everywhere in my house and home, and my wife now found that out. But throughout the years, I've been involved with the Garner Area Sports League, also the Garner 710 football and cheer program, along with heavily involvement with the Garner High School athletic program here at Garner Magnet High School.
Why did you choose sports? I mean, it could have been civic clubs. Why did you choose sports to give so much time to?
When I was probably about 7 years old, I had a coach when I played over at Lions Field here in Garner, and I was just an average player on the team, and in his season he gave me the sportsmanship award, and that really meant a lot to me. And I said if I ever can give back to the town of Garner, and that's been my whole drive, is just to give back to the town and get the kids to kind of teach them the same ways what I was taught when I was growing up.
What does sporting teach you about life itself? There are some lessons to be learned.
A lot of it's just learning how to work hard, work ethics, and giving your best at all time, and believing in yourself. The players I've coached, I always told them if you believe in yourself first, then everybody else will follow suit.
Okay, tell us about the Garner Area Youth Sports League. You're involved with that?
Yes.
Among other things.
I've been involved with them for about 25 years now, and started with them when my first son was wanting to play ball when he was 5 years old. Got involved with him, and during the meeting, I stepped out to the car for a second, and when I came back in, I become a board member and a head coach all at one time.
They did it while you out.
Ever since, I've been on the board and enjoyed it. Got a lot of good things out of the program, and met a lot of good parents and players throughout this time, and it's really been a joy. And now a lot of these kids that played with us back then are now bringing their kids through the program.
The opportunities that the community has, are there opportunities for regular people to get involved with your work?
Yes, the door's open. We always
love volunteers.
Love volunteers at everything I do, and every one of us that's on the board, we're all volunteers, and we always looking more people that's interested to get involved. And we got a little bit of everything for anybody who wants to, any part they want to get involved. We got plenty of doors open to help them.
The 710 football Pop Warner program, you involved in that?
Yes.
Talk about that. That's a long tradition in Garner.
Yeah, really, I've been part of it for also about 25 seasons. Started out with Ron Garner, helping him out, and I've also been fortunate to be an assistant coach, and been doing that for several years now, and as assistant commissioner and assistant football coach, and met a lot of great kids that have gone on and been playing college ball here at Garner High School, and also went on and some play professional football, and it's been a real honor to see these kids come through the program. And on top of that, Pop Warner's got a scholastic program, and a lot of our kids have in the past few years have been going All-American on the scholarships, and a few of them recently have got scholarship money of $500 or more to go towards college, and so that's a real proud moment. Seeing a kid from Garner getting a chance to get that scholarship money and they go on with that, and it's really been a proud moment to see this and be a part of it.
Were you involved in '87 when the football team won the state championship?
I was a supporter back then. At that time, I hadn't quite got involved. My involvement started back in the 90s, early like 1990. But I did go to Charlotte and support the team that game like everybody else in Garner that day. I don't think there was nobody here to even open a store back then. But
we talk about these two teams. For Garner, this is a first trip to the state championship game. They've never been here before, so a lot of excitement for that school.
But I really enjoyed it and was a part of the program then, and that's the thing that drove me more to want to be a part of it. And on top of being a part of youth sports, the one thing that drove me was trying to see what the coaches at the high school level needed fundamentally from the teen kids when they come up through the high school. So that's where I got a lot of my lessons then, was to start teaching so they'd be prepared when they went to the high school.
Mm-hmm. Okay, the Trojan Club. Tell us about that. You're the president.
I'm currently the president and have been for the
last 4 years. That don't take much time either, does it?
Yes, that stays busy. I'm real fortunate to be surrounded by a lot of great people on that club that put a lot of invaluable time in making it as successful as it is. And over my years on the board, I'm probably the second oldest person currently still on the board. With me and one other fellow, Billy, been considered the grandfathers of the league. But we put a lot of time in it, and we got a lot of great people that donate a lot of time and make the program successful. In turn, it makes the high school successful in the athletics here.
Okay, some of your most memorable experiences by being involved in these activities and these clubs and these organizations. There's bound to be some activities, some accomplishments that stand out.
It's been a lot of things we've been proud of, like this past year with the basketball team winning the state championship. It really brought the town of Garner together, and big events, the town of Garner comes out and supports the schools and just the town in general. We sort of got we might be a small community, but we got a big town effect, and everybody comes together at times when the town come together for Scotty. And that was a big important that he was a part of this high school, and I got to meet him and got to be friends with him, and it's been real important. And we just had a lot of great athletes. We also got a great student base here at Garner Magnet High School that I'm proud to be involved with, to just back these kids up as they come through the school and getting ready for their adult lives and stuff.
Your family. Let's talk about your family a little bit. They have been big supporters. You have to have good support before you can get out there and do it yourself. Tell us about your family, how they stood with you and stood beside you.
For my boys, when they grew up, they sort of knew what my life was like on the weekends with sports. And we had if you'll get through Saturday morning with me in football, then we'll do what you want to this evening. But they've been real supportive of all my kids. And in the last few years, met my wife, Doreen. We've been married for 3 years now. And she thought she knew what she was getting into at the time. And she thought getting married was going to get us to spend more time together. And she sees me a little bit more, but it's probably not the kind of time she wanted. But she's been real supportive and has always got my back. And it's been I really appreciate what her support, being there. And when good things happen, having somebody there to talk to when you get home at night, just, to do that. Because my boys have since grown up, started their own families. And so it's a real pleasure to have somebody there to talk to and just talk over things at home when you get home at night.
We've talked briefly about the relationship between the town, the community, and Garner Magnet High School and the sports program. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we
couldn't do it if the relationship wasn't good.
It's been real great. We've got a lot of dedicated sponsors, a lot of dedicated parents that come out each year and help us out. Our sponsors, through buying banners, program ads and stuff, it really helps the athletic program out. That we're able to go out and buy new uniforms for all the sports teams, keep them in safe equipment, make the surroundings safer, and provide everybody with the best environment when they play athletics. Our volunteers have been great because they're the ones that help us run the concession stands, the ticket booths, pull the chains on Friday night, help us sell hot dogs, help us cook the hot dogs and stuff like that. And our biggest thing that's really helped us out is our merchandise sales. We got some great people handling our merchandise, selling the Garner merchandise, and overall, it's just the support is great all year long, and we really appreciate everything everybody does for us through the support of volunteering, sponsoring, and buying merchandise, and just coming out and supporting all the kids during these athletic events.
Mark, Garner is on target to get a second high school. What do you think about the impact it's going to have on Garner Magnet?
I understand it's going to, we won't still have a lot of students in these schools, and it will have some impact. I think some of our bigger sports right now, as long as we stay as successful as we've been and the coaching staffs we have, I think a lot of that talent will still be coming to Garner Magnet High School. But it also gives some kids that maybe grow into a new high school. And I've witnessed local high schools that just started out in the last few years. They've had a lot of growth, and they're slowly building their programs. But it will have some effect on our high school, but we got a lot of dedication here at Garner Magnet High School through the staff, the teachers, and the coaches here. And I think it'll be a few years before we see a big effect on what it's done to our athletic program, but the success of the program will keep growing over the years.
Again, the relationship between the community, the student body, and the town itself, and the Trojan Club. Tell us about the relationship. We mentioned relationships. We need to talk a little bit more about it.
Well, we have a commitment, and the town's been real good working with us on different events and stuff that we do here at Garner Magnet High School through our homecoming events. We also been really involved with the Relay for Life and stuff. A few years ago, Weather took care of where the Relay Life couldn't be accommodated at Lake Benson Park, and they moved it to to Garner High School and using the high school facilities. It becomes a rental to use the high school facilities, and the Trojan Club was able to step in and help offset that cost so the Relay for Life didn't suffer from it, and they used it for that event. But we've always had great people come in and just give their time and just support. I really love Friday. Football season is really one of my best times because Friday nights is a big time right here at Trojan Stadium. And when we're not at home, when we go traveling, don't matter where we travel to, we always sing Bring Garner with us. And the biggest effect was when we, this past season in the winter, when we played for the state championship with the basketball, it looked like 85% of what was in the bleachers was blue and gold. And that was a really impressive sight at Chapel Hill.
We're in Trojan Stadium. The viewers may not know it, but when you look out across this field, what comes to mind?
Just the great moments out here, and just the tradition, the winning tradition of excellence that we promote all the time. We've seen a lot of great moments out here on this field from back during the era with Anthony Barber.
Now backs in the I formation, receivers split wide to both sides. To give, no surprise, number 43 up the middle. Barber is gone. Off to the races on the first play from scrimmage. Anthony Barber, a 60-yard touchdown run. Make that 61 yards. And he just burst right up the middle. They got a hole open for him, and he gave us the demonstration of his speed.
On up to now with Naheem Hines, and now we're seeing who else is going to try to fill those shoes to carry on the candle to give us them excitement times on a Friday night on the field. We got some great athletes coming up, some athletes returning that's going to give us some great moments, not only on the football field, but through all our other athlete programs here at Garner Magnet High School. And I'm really excited to see what the new year brings to us, and I'm really looking forward to it.
And the Trojan Club supports all the sports.
Yes.
Even lacrosse. Is lacrosse coming up now?
Yeah, lacrosse. We got our girls lacrosse team this year. It started out this spring, and so they support everything. Our athletic director, Mr. Nelson Smith, comes to the board when he needs to buy equipment or needs some kind of support to support these teams. So he's been real great about that, and we support every program. We try to give everything they need, and that's another thing I've been proud of. In the past, people say, "Oh, your program is about one sport." We've been fortunate with Nelson and our former athletic director, Doc Harold, that they dedicated themselves to all the sports and making this a successful program. And I think it's really shown in the parent involvement, because even with the other sports, it's not the name brand like a football, basketball, or baseball. It's like the lacrosse sports are growing now, and we're getting the support of the parents coming out and supporting their children, and other people coming out supporting the lacrosse and soccer and low, what you call, maybe not the heavier finance or programs, but it's been real successful, and it's getting bigger and better.
Well, they're new. I remember when soccer came, it was new. We had to learn about it, adjust to it.
And a lot of people's coming, and it's just amazing to see the growth. It's growing every season, so it's just amazing. And in a few years, it'll be just as big as some of the other bigger sports, about the parents coming out and supporting it.
And with all the teams and all the players, there is still an emphasis on academics.
Yes.
Academics and athletics go hand in hand.
Yes, and that's one thing about it. The coaches here, when they talk in sports, they also talk about life and about academics and about pushing yourself in the classroom. The biggest accomplishment we got here in the last few years, the Trojan Club has started athletic academic awards. When we first started this, we was only giving out 6 scholarships a year. As the committee got together and started deciding on these things over the last few years, we found out there was more. It was hard to cut some of these kids off because it was only a fraction of a point difference from one player to another. So for the last 2 or 3 seasons, we would give 10 $500 scholarships out of the Hall of Fame. And when we started out here and talking to the people on the committee about what they had to go through to decide on these players to get these academic awards, it was amazing how much these kids are involved in the community with the grades and all the schooling they're doing, how they have time just to go to school. Because if you read their resume of what they've done, it's amazing what they've done. And it's really a pleasure seeing these athletes get these scholarships every season. It's probably one of the prouder moments when we have the Hall of Fame banquet. We invite these players and their parents to that, and that's when they get awarded their fund scholarships. And it's a proud moment for us every time we do it. And a lot of sports have been represented in these scholarships. So it's a proud moment for the club that be able to do this.
Okay, here's a tricky question. If you weren't so involved in sports activities, what would you be doing in your spare time? Do you fish, hunt, golf? Don't have time?
I hadn't had time. I said, I like going and watching ball games or something, other things every now and then. But right now, I've been so involved in youth sports, we don't even have time to even go to a movie. My boys tease me every now and then about when I married my wife Doreen. We actually got married between seasons.
You planned it accordingly, didn't you?
We got married like the second week in July because I told her you had to get between baseball and football season, or she had to wait to December when everything settled down for the basketball season. So, I just love the sports and just what it brings, and anybody that's known me, I've been dedicated to it now.
Well, that's all. Everybody in town knows that.
And I love it to death. When I go to any place, everybody calls me coach. And the kids I've coached 10 years ago, they still call you coach when they bring their families to you, and that's real nice. When somebody says, "What's your pay?" I said, "That's my paycheck right there." Being recognized as somebody that's made a difference in these lives. Some of the kids that went on to play professional sports, they said, "You made a difference in my life." I said, "I just want to be there, part of your pathway of where you went. I'm not the reason for your talent and why you got that far, but I just was part of your growing up through the town of Garner." And they still come home occasionally to visit, and it's a real pleasure just to see them here and coming back to Garner, being home.
I believe it's third year of the Hall of Fame banquet and the festivities there. What impact does that have on the community and the people who get recognized?
Well, when we first started, our dream was just to bring 100 people into the Ancestors Jewelers in the Marquee Ballroom. This past year, we basically was people standing room only. It was a packed place. Each year, when I say I don't know, this can get much better, it does. It gets better. We bring a lot of former athletes that's only been gone for maybe 5 or 6 years, come back in and we celebrate them. And we've had a good class of folks that we brought back in. Started out with Anthony Barber and House Stewart. A couple of years ago, we had Tim Stevens. He just got the James Stevens Award a year or two ago. We've had a lot. This past year, we had Stevie Hudson and Coach Lyles. Coach Lyles was a huge impact on coaching back when the schools were coming together. And James Ferris is one of the best, great basketball coaches come through. And we had some top-notch athletes that's come through it. We've also honored a volunteer that's give close to 30 years to this town and to the Trojan Club. We recognize Billy Stewart for something all accomplished.
Pulling those chains.
And pulling them chains. And he's probably got a reputation being the only chain crewman never got removed from a ball game. And we always teased him about it. But, we all love what we do. And on Friday nights, I'm up in the press box running the clock and ranging, keeping everything going. But the Hall of Fame, I've been in, somebody's put me up for that also. I said, it'll be when it's my time, I'll be in there. I said, but we got a lot of great folks to still honor because we got a rich tradition.
Got to catch up.
And a long history of people that's put into Trojan athletics since the 1950s. And I want them people to be honored. I'm still planning to be around for a few more years, so I got plenty of time to enjoy it. The biggest thing I've enjoyed over the years, award I created a few years ago for volunteers through the Garner Sports League and through Garner Civitan football and cheer, but start honoring some veterans. We had a coach at one time I made the schedule around he had a lot of health problems and he had to go through a dialysis machine at a certain time every day. So part of that, I said, if you want to coach kids that bad, I'll make sure you play the first game of the night so you can get time enough for your dialysis.
Schedule everything around his schedule.
Mm-hmm. And so the biggest thing was I said, we need to start thanking people for their services before they're passed on and gone on, so they can have time to enjoy it and say thank you, why they can say, I appreciate it. So we created, and in Gainesville, we created the Diamond Award. And we honor sponsors, volunteers that have been a difference in the league. And since then, we went through and did that with the Garner Civitan program, and we call that the Gridiron Award. in the past was some of our former commissioners, Nelson Smith, Doc Harrell, Hal Stewart's been rewarded them awards for their accomplishment, what they give to the town of Garner, and the support of the program. And all these people have been supportive of the programs that got these awards. I just think you need to step by sometimes and say thank you for what you've done for these kids and for the town of Garner at that time.
Let's talk about what I call the greats that have been in the Garner athletic program. David West, Anthony Barber. Tell us about them and how they have made us all look good, I guess, by going higher.
They was here for us, and they really brung a lot. They brung notoriety to Garner, and we was always known for athletics and stuff. And then we had an entertainer that went on and done well for us through Scotty and brung Garner to the front and beam. But it's real pleasure because we've had former players like Carl Franks that went on to coach at Duke University, and now he went down to Florida and has done real well coaching down there. Also with David West, we had James Mays that's now playing over there in Europe and playing in leagues over there. We got Brandon Banks that come up through here. They always told me he was too small to play anything higher than high school football. And I told him don't let other people keep you from doing something that you want to do. So now he's one of the top athletes in the CFL right now playing up there. So it's Anthony Barber. Everybody's going to talk about him for generations, Naheem. And we've had a lot of other great athletes coming that mean a whole lot. And the biggest thing that's helped us grow this was some of our people through our webcast that we do through the Trojan Club with Matt Sanderson and some of our past guys that's done it with Chris Edwards and Philip Askew that keep us in the media through Twitter, webcast, and then on our website. And that's really bringing a lot of notoriety to our program. And people just don't hear us in Garner. They hear us throughout the United States and throughout all the other countries through our webcasts, and that's a big positive for our program.
Okay, Mark, we're going to wrap up this taping here. Anything you'd like to add or say to those viewers again?
I appreciate your time and recognizing me. I mean, it really means a lot. You've had a lot of great shows with a lot of great people, and I hope I can honor
add to the list.
Add to the list of it. I said, I sort of tough to knock out, Angie and Coach Gray and Miss Miss Jordan and stuff, all the stuff they done. But I add my little bit of flavor to the town of Garner, what we do, and thank the town of Garner for everything they do for the community with the July 4th and Christmas parades we do, because that's some of the greatest events we got going on. And just encourage the parents to get their kids involved in something. And if they don't want to play athletics, get them involved doing science projects. Do something to get them out of the house and away from off the couch, and just be positive and support them and be in their lives.
Thank you. Good interview. Appreciate
it.
Mm-hmm.